like natural for this. Let's get into creative flow and get out of our head and the inner critic and silence them and do a quick 10-minute prompt reset exercise. I'm Victoria.
I'm Alpha.
And welcome to Struggle is Real. Today, I have asked Alpha to be with us and do this exercise because he brought a very cool topic that I have no idea about, and that's I want to learn as much as I can. So I'll give the floor to Alpha and tell us what we're going to write about today.
So my topic today is dungeon mastering and playing D&D. It's something that's a big passion of mine, something that I've done since I was a kid. So I'm excited to write about it, Victoria.
Okay, that's cool. I'm excited too. I'm excited to write. I'm excited to hear the story that's come out of this. And today's question is, what was your first experience with Dungeons and Dragons? And we have 10 minutes. And whatever comes out of this question, please write about. And if your mind wanders, surfaces in your psyche, please write it down. And then try to come back to the main question, because the whole gist is that we come back to the main question. And anyway, yeah, 10 minutes. You ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
Let's
okay,
do it.
I'm putting the timer on, guys.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yes, sure. And the time is up. Sorry, Alpha.
No
I
worries.
see you're doing like you're writing passionately.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That's good.
nice. It's
That's
good to
good
write about
sign.
that.
Now let me get rid of this. Okay. And how did it go for you?
Oh, it was amazing. It felt great. It was kind of an exploration of everything I've done to this point as far as my, love for D&D and my love for DMing. It kind of came out like the history of
Uh-huh.
my journey with this game, and it was nice. It was really really great. How was it for you?
Oh, I just wrote that basically I don't know anything about it. I just heard about it years ago, and the first time I actually heard about it was from you because your eyes lit up when I asked you to if you want to be on the show, and I asked you what's your creativity outlet, and you said D&D. I'm like, what is it? But your eyes were like lit up. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. And please, I want you to tell us how did you first came across this game?
So the first time I got into D&D, I was at Boy Scout camp, and I was about 11 years old, and all the older it was late at night, and all the kids were hanging out at scout or around the fire, and they pulled out these books and these pieces of paper, and the next thing you know, they were all just pretending to be characters in this medieval adventure, and it was such a cool experience to sit around and listen to them fight ogres and try to figure out puzzles, and they're playing off each other, and this guy's a little bit of a loose cannon, and this guy's a little bit of a playing it straight, and this person's kind of a bad guy, and
Mhm.
it was very interesting to see them all kind of playing these roles, and I just fell in love. I had a big imagination as a child, so I had I always loved imagining different stories, and reading books, and some of my favorite books when I was a kid were the choose your own adventure books.
Mhm.
And this was the ultimate form of choose your own adventure. You literally can do whatever you want, and you're playing this character. There's no, you're acting out who he is and how he would respond in situations, or she. And I found that very interesting. So that's kind of how it started from there. And then I found out a group of friends really enjoyed playing D&D. And I started playing with them, and it grew from there. And then I started thinking, well, I can do this myself. I can DM a game. And I have I like to write stories. I like to create stories. So it kind of went from there, and it's just blossomed.
Okay, so what does it mean to DM a game?
Sorry, that's a dungeon
What the
mastering. Sorry,
hell you?
sorry. We start using lingo and everything.
No, forgive my ignorance, please.
No, it's okay. DMing means dungeon mastering. So you're in charge of the game itself. You're the one who creates the story. You create all the other characters in the game. You play those other characters in the game, and you're kind of the facilitator of what the characters do. How you kind of help facilitate how like their actions create the reactions. You kind of create the conflict as well too. That comes with making the story. You structure it all. Even though sometimes that doesn't go to plan, you kind of create the outline of what the adventure is going to be, and then kind of guide them through it in a sense. Typically, the players do what they really want to do, but you're kind of just the kind of end all.
Mhm.
You're the reference point. You're the one doing all the funny voices for the other non-playable characters. You're the one, kind of telling them what's happening. You're the one that's kind of, looking things up. So yeah, you're kind of just the like the whole. There's so many different hats you wear, but you're basically the one that's like creating the adventure and guiding them through it.
It sounds so much fun,
It is a lot of fun.
and it's a board game, and it could be also a computer game.
Yes, there's computer role playing games, but the ones we do more so are tabletop.
Uh huh.
Where you create a character.
Hmm.
The character has different traits, different attributes, different personalities. Some characters can be good, some can be evil, some can be neutral. They have different ways of like approaching situations. Your character might be a thief. Your character might be a bard, a singer. Your character might be have super strength. Your character might be smelly. You just never know. So you create those characters, and then there is a tabletop aspect of all involved. There's
Yeah, I wanted
dice.
to show us the dice.
The
What is
dice,
this?
yeah. So
That look
dice is a
nice.
big piece of this game. We love dice. It's how we resolve conflicts. It's pretty cool. Typically, yeah, you can pick one out. Yeah,
It's a real dice.
that's
It
a real
shows
dice.
that there's
Yeah,
so
we've
many
got all
different
kinds. We've
colors.
got different kinds, different colors.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm not playing this game, but I would like to roll the
You're
dice.
gonna roll one here in a little bit. Like they have different numbers on them. They do different things. But that's the way we resolve conflict. Let's say you're fighting somebody. You're a character, and you're fighting against a monster. And a way to resolve it would be, you roll the dice, and based on the number you get, that kind of tells you what happens. For the most part in D&D, a 20 is the best outcome, and a 1 is the worst outcome. It's fun in that sense because you don't know what's going to happen or what the outcome will be. I've had games where I've rolled nothing but ones, and it's been swing and a miss, and that monster is kicking your behind. Or sometimes where you roll a natural 20 is what we call that, when you roll a straight 20, and you take your sword and cut that monster's head right off.
Okay.
That's where the kind of randomness of the game comes from.
Just like life.
Yes.
You roll the dice. You never know what's going to come out.
Exactly.
So what about those books? I see the book. I'm
Yes.
trying to I want to see that.
Okay.
I want others to see that.
Yes.
This is what the kids from the camp, they pull it out, this book?
Yeah, these are manuals.
Okay.
They're different. This one is basically one that has an adventure in it, but within that, it's got everything. It's got everything that's going to happen. It's got all the characters. It's got all the NPCs.
He has worked it. He's actually worked it. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's got all that stuff. It's got encounters. It's got all the monsters in it. It's got and what's cool about it is it's not so you go in a linear line. They're different depending on how the characters, what they want to do, how they react to stuff. It can go in different directions. But it's kind of like an encyclopedia in a sense. And there's so many of these.
You have more at home?
Yeah, I love a lot of mine are online. Right now, it's a little bit easier to do it digitally. A lot of stuff's on my laptop, but as far as D&D, I tend to use one of the editions is the 3.5 edition. So I tend to use that. And that one, the amount of books I have for that one, we're talking about maybe 15 to 20, where we have manuals that just have monsters in them. Mm-hmm. So if you want to use a monster, you can just flip through and there's, use this monster. You have books for different, different play types, different archetypes, all kinds of stuff. So it's a lot.
Oh my God, I'm fascinated. This is cool. I love listening from you because you're so passionate about it. Yeah. It's contagious. I love it. And it seems very complex.
It is, but it's fun.
Notebooks.
The notebooks are ones that I've written out myself. Like, for instance, this is what the first game I ever played through with some buddies. And there are different versions of the role-playing games too. You have classic D&D. Okay, that's a character somebody made.
I totally overstepped my boundary.
No, you're good. You're good. Anything you want to grab, go for it. I've got books all over the place. But there are different versions of D&D. They've as the game is fleshed out. They've taken it and applied it to different IPs. So there's a Star Wars one you can play. There's a Marvel one you can play. There's an Avatar: The Last Airbender one you can play. And they all have slightly different rule sets, and they also have slightly different mechanics. But for the most part, it's a character, and you're playing out an adventure, and the DM is kind of helping you along. So this one I have written out was the first one I ever played for a long time. I actually wrote about it in here. Was the first one I ever played through long term. It was me and 3 friends, and it was a Marvel one, and we played for 6 months, and we met every single Monday.
Okay.
So what's that? 24 times we met playing this game. So it takes a lot of consistency. You have to have people that are committed. A lot of times with these games, you'll start you'll do 1 or 2 sessions, and then they completely fall off. But if you get people who are committed, I've known people who have played for years and years and years, the same adventure. And it's
same adventure,
same characters, really? And they've gone through all these adventures, and that's where the fun is, where you can look back and be like, remember that time 2 years ago where you did this and did that, and that's the beauty of it. But this one I wrote out was a Marvel one, and it was pretty cool. As you see, that's all the characters I
What is
use.
F? F
That's
I
the
think.
page. Those are reference
Okay.
pages. So within, like I said, even the Marvel one has about 12 books I use that are all about 200 to 300 pages long. So in order to play these games, you need reference points. So if I need to get back to a character, I have to have a reference point there. And here is this is the main outline of the game. So I first, before I write anything, I want to outline. I like to outline first because that way I can have an idea of, what the kind of story I kind of want to tell. Like I said, even with all this outlined and written out, it's really up to the characters. If they want to go and burn down a building, they're free to burn down a building. If they want to go and kick the shopkeeper in the behind, they can kick a shopkeeper in the behind. One of my favorite ones was they were playing the superhero one, and I'm not sure if people know about the Marvel series, but there's a character, Captain America, and he has a sidekick named Bucky. And one of my friends, one of the times, he was like, Bucky was standing right there. He's like, I want to punch him in the head. I was like, you want to punch Bucky in the head? He goes, yeah, I want to punch him in the head. He didn't know Bucky is a world-class spy and like has a super acrobat and has great reflexes. And he went to punch Bucky in the head. And what did he do? He rolled the dice. He rolled his lucky dice, and I think he rolled not a 13, but it was some lower number. And I rolled for Bucky, and Bucky got a better number. And Bucky grabbed him, flipped him over his head, and threw him into a rock. And he had to take damage for that. So
Bucky won.
Yeah, Bucky won. Bucky won. But it's stuff like that. But yeah, you write out an outline. This is all the outline pictures I've drawn of different locations that they're going to be in and stuff like that. As you can kind of see, there's
Look at this. This is like PhD work.
Yeah,
if
it is.
you guys combine all of your like notebooks like that, you can come up with a really complex like TV show.
Oh yeah, definitely. And here's the full written out part: the acts, the build up, the key scenes, and even so, like different things of what's going on as far as dice pool, the people they're going to be fighting right here as well. How that references out, and it's all here. You look, even this one, I drew a house. That's the map of the house.
I'm fascinated. I was like, I did not know what I'm missing out on.
Yeah.
This is a great exercise for imagination. Your imagination is probably like limitless now.
Oh yeah. And you can reference, and when you're doing a Marvel or Star Wars one, like let's say you're doing one that's based in a Star Wars time that's like, at a certain point, like maybe 100 years before the first movie, you can look back and research about what's going on in that time. Like there's so much lore in all these, in Dungeons and Dragons and Star Wars and Marvel, like there's tons of lore. So you can go and look at pull characters from here and be like, and pull different adventures and put them here and be like, well, that wouldn't work here because that's here. There's a lot of creativity you can do. Even this one right here is a story. I set this one in the 1940s. It's a 1940s detective story.
Okay.
But what I was able to tie into with that was because it was the 40s, I could tie in the World War II stuff. And they could meet Captain America and President Roosevelt and all these other interesting characters. I had to look back and look at all the 1940s comic books. And I've done other ones like that. I've done one game where friends had to the Twilight Zone invaded the Marvel universe. Okay. So I went and watched over, I think, 50 to 60 Twilight Zone episodes.
I love Twilight Zone.
Me too. I love the Twilight Zone too. And I was like, I always wanted to combine the two. So they had to go and fight all these characters from the Twilight Zone. And I combined them with some Marvel characters, and it was just a very interesting exercise. I think that one's written in this one.
Yeah, I'm listening to you, and my producer brain's like, "Oh my God, we can make a movie out of it, like a show out of it." It's incredible. Yeah. I'm so lucky I got to listen to this. Yeah. What is your favorite part when you work with others? Like, what does it give you when you guys play together?
The best part, I think, is the imagining things together and the role playing and the getting to play off each other. It's always cool seeing people get into their mind and get into the character and getting to see them like, I'm becoming this person. I like the same game right here. One of my buddies, one of his things was he called people moops, and he just kept saying it over, and he'd be like, we'll call that guy a moop. And I was like, this is great. He's like really trying to become the character. And I think that's what a lot of the, it's that, and then just enjoying the lore together. When you're doing a Star Wars game with friends, like getting to talk, getting to pretend that you're in Mos Eisley or getting to pretend like you're fighting in a battle together. Like there's a lot of camaraderie, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot of playing off each other. So I think that's the best part of it. Yeah.
That sounds, camaraderie sounds really good. Also, what is your current game? What is
current game?
Yeah, what is you guys do now?
Okay, so I'm doing a Marvel one right now. I started it at a friend's home. He's got a couple of guys living there, and I was like, I'm gonna go, and this is gonna be one thing that is, I get I get satisfaction out of doing it myself. So I was like, this is something that I can do that'll bring everybody in the house together, and then also make me happy. So we're currently doing a Marvel game. I hope none of them watch this because
Oh no, you don't do anything that you
we'll
regret
tell.
about. Don't, please, no.
I will tell, but it's a Marvel game.
We will tell it next year when
Yeah,
you come back.
we'll tell it next year, but it's pretty cool. I'm gonna use a little bit of the basic text to kind of give them a warm up adventure, and then because mine is a little bit more advanced, so I
Mhm.
wanted to start them. You said it takes a little bit of time to kind of get used to playing the game, one, and then you build up experience and levels. Your character does. There's in D&D you build up on levels, and in certain other games you build XP. You gain, and when you do that, you gain attributes, you gain skills, you gain all kinds of stuff. Your character just grows and gets better. But for this group right now, I was like, I kind of want to start them on something basic, just to kind of give them an idea of how the game works, and they're not already like facing down something that is gonna, really, really, like kill them all. So
Oh, okay. So are they like relatively new to the game than you
yes,
are? Okay.
yes, everybody that is playing the current game I'm playing is new.
Okay.
It's their
Is
first
that
time playing.
intentional or it's just
Uh,
happened like
just
that?
happen that way. Typically, when you play with people, there are people who have played before. The one main game I played that I've been referencing back to, that one I had one friend who is very seasoned, and then two who were new, and that worked well because he could kind of, you know, provide a little bit of seriousness to it. The other two guys were kind of like, yeah, let's go do this, let's go do that, and he kind of could keep them a little bit on pace. But it's good to. It works either way. It
Do,
works either
do
way.
you have like mentees or like is it something like do you feel like you're mentoring those people who
In a
are you
sense,
do they want to or are you just like you don't really care so the game is like game is game whoever loses loses
well,
what's your outlook on that?
you typically you don't you want it to be fun,
Yeah.
but you don't want it to be a cakewalk. So there's a fine line between, you know, putting them into the fire and also kind of, especially if it's their first time shepherding them along. You know, no, typically if anybody buys into the game, they're going to have fun. They're going to really enjoy it. And there is sort of a mentorship aspect there where it's like, okay, I want you to kind of understand, get the flow of the game, understand how to play it. Because I have had fun doing it before, and I think you will too. So I try not to, really jam it down their throat right away. But there is a little bit of just kind of like, shepherding them along. It depends on, how long they've been playing, um, their kind of experience with the
Yeah,
game.
and
But
how far they want to go. What
yeah.
about you? If you look back on your experience, uh, did you have a mentor or how? I mean, just wondering because this is such a complex game. I didn't realize it's so much like it's work.
Mhm.
It's actually writing work. It's creating. It's like basically you're producing a show, right?
Yeah, my
It's
buddy said it best. He said it's like studying for a final,
yeah, yeah.
and all the questions that you study for might not be on the final.
Correct. And you never know how your friend's going to react to your
Hmm.
Bucky character.
Yeah.
So how did you did you have like a did you learn the hard way or was it not so hard way for you to learn so you kept enjoying it, right?
Well, at first, seeing it was one of my attractions. Seeing the other guys have fun with it really puts you on a path to want to play. But for most of us, oops, excuse me, sorry. For most of us, there isn't really someone to bring you along. It's a lot of sitting at home and just reading books, studying, sitting there, learning the mechanics of the game, learning the ins and outs of the game, learning, flipping through the monster manual and learning what this script monster does or what this thing does. It's a lot of sitting by yourself and studying. I think you said it's kind of a mixed bag because you have that aspect, but then you get together and you get to be social. So you get the best of both worlds. But yeah, it is a lot of you get the initial I want to do this, and then it is a lot of like I'm gonna go home and read for 4 hours about about like how the Civil War, uh, book works and like the ins and outs of like having a character, having people play through that campaign. So
Yeah,
it's
it sounds like true
it
love for
very
all
much
the
is.
guys. Thank you so much. You
Yeah,
just like enlightened me, and I hope you guys got enlightened too. And maybe there's someone out there who will be who will want to start the game too. You never
yeah,
know. I might look at it, but I'm not the person who's going to be reading 4 hours
yeah.
about the game. But I will. I want to just look at like basic stuff. So
Hmm.
it's really cool. I admire that.
Hmm.
Do you have like a word of advice for someone out there for you,
Yeah,
and you don't have to, but if there's something that come up.
yeah. If you want to do it, it may seem like a lot in it early on, but it's all about just kind of diving headfirst in. If you're interested in playing, start at making a character and finding a game. Maybe getting some friends together. There are definitely so many avenues to play now. There's stuff online. When I was a kid, it was you had to. Internet wasn't around, so you had to like know some friends who would play this game. And now, I have friends who play, when we did the Avatar one, we played online on like Twitch or something like that. So there's so many different people the game has grown so much and has gotten a lot more of a mainstream following. So you can go and find places that are putting on quick games or doing like, one-off games where it's only that one day. And if you're interested in even in a little bit, like go and give it a shot because once you get into it, there's kind of nothing like it. But I would say just kind of dip your toe in it first, and if it's something that you like, you build up. I didn't start just like going in and reading these giant books right away. This is crazy, but it slowly
Awesome.
was a gradual process. So kind of dip your toe in if you're interested in it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really inspirational. Great energy.
Thank you.
I want to invite you back maybe next year to
Yeah.
see how you kick your friend's butt
Oh yeah.
in
Oh
this
yeah.
new game. In conclusion, I just had this thought that everyone has this seed of creativity. It's so wonderful to hear Alpha how his creativity manifests. And yesterday I was listening to Brene Brown, and she was like, suppressing creativity is like bad for our physical health and
Mhm.
also emotional health. And it's true. And I think, and I wish everyone that you guys follow your bliss and
Mhm.
whatever you creativity, whatever it shows up for you, that you enjoyed and have fun. At the end
Amen.
of the
Have
day, it's
fun.
about having
Have
fun.
fun. Go enjoy yourself. Yay.
Yeah.
Have fun.
What's
Thank
up?
you so much, Victoria. This is
Thank you
amazing.
for being here. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you're my first guest hug.
Oh,
Okay. Have a
got one.
great day. Bye. Hold on. And
There it is.
oh, oh, that
Oh,
was
great.
great.
Yay.
Oh.